The moment she said the words, something inside me snapped, quietly, almost politely, like a thin thread giving up after being stretched too long. "We're in an open marriage now," Emily announced, not even looking up from her phone. No build-up, no discussion, no hesitation, just a verdict, as if she were deciding whether to change the curtains. I stood at the kitchen counter, dish towel in hand, the smell of boiled pasta still clinging to the air. The overhead light hummed, louder suddenly, like it too knew something terrible had just happened. "What did you say?" My voice barely crawled out of my throat. Emily finally looked up, her face strangely calm. "I said we're opening the marriage. It's better for both of us. I need freedom. And you should explore too." Explore. Like she was giving me permission to pick out a hobby. Her phone buzzed again. She smirked, quickly, involuntarily. Then I knew. Someone else was already in the picture. The first crack. For 8 years, Emily had been my safe place. Funny, gentle, stubborn, complicated. Not perfect. But she was mine and I was hers. Or so I thought. "You've been talking to someone," I whispered. Her eyes flickered, not with guilt but irritation. "Don't start with accusations. This is about us growing." "Growing? By name," I said. "Who is he?" She stiffened. And that was my answer. Her best friend. The next day, her best friend, Mara, showed up at the house. Emily wasn't home, and for the first time I was relieved. My hand shook as I opened the door. Part fear, part embarrassment. Mara had always been fiercely loyal to Emily. I expected anger, judgment, maybe even a lecture. Instead, she stepped inside quietly and said, "She told me what she said to you." I swallowed. "Then you know everything." "No," she replied softly. "But I know enough." She sat at the edge of the couch like the wrong move might make me break. Maybe it would. "She's been distant for months," I said. "But I thought it was work. Stress. Anything but this." Mara looked away, guilt flashing across her face. I tried talking her out of it. She wouldn't listen. Something in her tone made me pause. She wasn't just sympathizing, she sounded angry. Protective. Maybe too protective. "She told you she wants an open marriage," Mara said. "But she didn't tell you the truth, did she?" My stomach tightened. "What truth?" Mara hesitated. "She's already seeing someone. And she wants to justify it by rewriting the rules." Felt like the floor dropped out from under me. "Mara, why are you telling me this? You're her best friend." "I am," she said. "But I'm also your friend. And I can't watch her destroy you and pretend she's doing something brave." I didn't realize it then, but that moment, the way her voice cracked, was the first sign that Mara wasn't as neutral as she should have been. The message. That night, Emily didn't come home until nearly 2 a.m. I didn't ask where she'd been. She didn't offer. But when she showered, her phone, unlocked, buzzed on the nightstand. I didn't want to look. But heartbreak turns even the kindest person into something desperate. The message preview read, "Can't stop thinking about tonight. Same time tomorrow. See." A single letter with more weight than my entire marriage. When Emily walked out of the bathroom, towel in hand, steam trailing behind her, she saw the look on my face and froze. "You read my messages," she snapped. "You cheated on me," I said. "So yes." I looked. She didn't deny it. She didn't apologize. She simply rolled her eyes. "Don't be dramatic, Daniel. It's not cheating if we're opening the marriage." "We didn't open anything," I said. "You did. Alone." A shrug. "You're free to now." Free. Like she had released me from some imaginary cage. Loneliness in a full house. The following days were a blur of silence and slammed doors. Emily spent more time out with friends, always returning with excuses too effortless to be true. I stopped asking. What hurt most wasn't the cheating. It was realizing I didn't matter enough for her to hide it. Mara checked in often. At first I thought she just felt sorry for me, but then I noticed the way she lingered at the door, the way her voice softened whenever she said my name. "You don't deserve this," she whispered once. Anyone can see you're the one fighting for this marriage. Emily doesn't want a marriage, I said. She wants permission. Mara reached out and touched my hand. Brief. Gentle. Too gentle. She's going to lose you, she murmured. And she won't even see it coming. The go-ahead. A week later, Emily made her final announcement over breakfast. I'm staying with Chris tonight, she said casually, as if reading a weather report. And maybe for a couple more days. Just to try things. Try things. I opened my mouth to speak, but she'd already grabbed her keys. As she walked out, Mara walked in, almost colliding with her at the door. Emily muttered a stiff hi and left. Mara watched her go, jaw tight. Then she turned to me. Her voice was low, trembling. I can't watch her hurt you anymore. I sank onto the couch. Mara, I don't know what to do. Feel pathetic. Weak. You're not weak, she said firmly. You're loyal. That's rare. When I didn't respond, she sat beside me, closer than usual. Daniel, she whispered, listen to me carefully. Her hand slid over mine, intentional this time. She wants the marriage open. Fine. Then you're free too. I shook my head. I don't want anyone else. Her eyes softened with something I didn't recognize at first. But then her voice dropped to a whisper, warm and dangerous. You have someone else, she said. Me. My heart thudded painfully. Mara. She held my gaze, unblinking. Emily made her choice. You don't owe her loyalty she isn't giving you. And I'm giving you permission. My permission to feel wanted again. Mara. I'm giving you the go-ahead, she breathed. For once, choose someone who chooses you. The room felt too quiet. Too close. But before anything could happen, before any line could be crossed, I stood. I can't, I whispered. Her face fell, not with offense, but heartbreak, real, undeniable heartbreak. I understand, she said softly. But if she's allowed to stop loving you, you're allowed to let someone love you. The breaking point. That night, Emily returned early. Maybe something went wrong with Chris. Maybe she was bored. She tossed her bag on the floor, kicked off her shoes and sighed dramatically. This open marriage thing isn't working for me, she announced. We should put it on hold. On hold, I repeated. Yeah. Just until I figure things out with him. I stared at her. You want our marriage on hold until your affair stabilizes. She blinked, confused by my anger. You're twisting my words. No, I said quietly. I'm finally hearing them. She scoffed. Don't start. You know you'll never leave. You need me. It was the most honest insult she'd ever thrown. I walked to the closet, grabbed my suitcase and started packing. She froze. What are you doing? Choosing myself, I said. You don't mean that. I zipped the suitcase. I do. Her voice cracked. Where are you going? Somewhere I'm wanted. The truth hit her then. Not that she'd lost me, but that she'd lost control. Is this because of Mara? She demanded. Paused at the door. No. Mara just reminded me I deserve better. She stared at me, wide-eyed, breath trembling. For the first time in months, she looked scared. You can't leave, she whispered. We're married. Were, I corrected softly. Before you opened it. The ending that finally made sense. I stayed at a hotel that night. Alone. Not with Mara. Not with anyone. Just me, broken, bruised, but finally breathing. In the morning I found a text waiting. From Mara. I won't push. But I'm here. As a friend. As whatever you need. And another text from Emily. Begging. Apologizing. Swearing she didn't mean it. But she did. She meant every word. And for once, what I meant mattered more. Epilogue. Sometimes heartbreak doesn't explode. It dissolves quietly, slowly, until all that's left is clarity. Emily wanted an open marriage. So I opened it. And walked out. Not into someone else's arms. But into my own life. The one she stopped seeing, but one I finally chose to reclaim.